How do we find our purpose? This is a topic I've been thinking about a lot in the recent years as I've been finding my own purpose. So I'll be sharing with you 3 guidelines and my thoughts, and I've been doing this through a little journey. So let's just go back to the very beginning when we were born. So we come to the world as a baby, and as a baby you are kind of thinking that the whole world is you, that there's nothing else in the world, it's just you and everything is there for you. And then when we begin to grow up, we start to understand that hey, there are other peoples or people, and there's the world to interact with, and we start to learn about the world. And let's fast forward more in our journey on life. We start to become like teenagers, perhaps we go to school, we more and more start to gain an understanding about the environment we live in, and we start to pay attention on what everyone else is doing, and everyone else has a job, a career, there's something they're doing, they have profession, they have interests. And of course we begin to wonder, well, what about me? What will I do when I grow up? At what age do you know or start to know, and how do you know? So I think in this period of life, when you are kind of growing up, there's all this confusion. What should you be doing? And then there's this expectation that you should be making a decision, perhaps on what type of a school you're going to, or what you're interested in, and you're kind of given some options to choose from. And I guess it's safe to say that most people don't know, and it's kind of like throwing a dart in the dark. But I think most of us kind of go to life unknown what I'm here to do, what I'm good at, what I need to work on, like all these questions, and we are looking for that support and guidance, and oftentimes it's not really there. But then as time goes on, the key here is that we start to gain more experience, we try different things, we might even go to school and spend a lot of time and energy there to realize that that's not really for us, that turns out it didn't interest us, or we went long enough on that journey to see that this is not for me. So I think that all resonates with us. So it's all about getting those experiences and trying different things, and then slowly our purpose starts to reveal itself. We start to understand that what do I like about what kind of, we start to see the overall direction we want to go. We still don't know really what we're here to do, but we know like this way seems like that's where I want to go. And then you get passionate about one thing, and then another thing, and it all kind of forms like a journey. So you need to think about your life as a journey. When you're born, you don't know your environment, it's all pitch dark. And then as you start to grow up, you start to look at things, you start to see things, and you start to go to a certain path, and maybe then you come back and you go to another direction. And you start to develop this map about the terrain, and you start to gain an idea on what you want to do and what you like. So it's all about the choices we are making. So the choices you make today provide you opportunities in the future, and they provide you with that insight into what it is that you perhaps will be doing. So then when you have traveled long enough on this path, you begin to wonder. You stop and look back and think about what is it all that you have done, what are the experiences you have gained, and then through those experiences and your interests and everything, you start to see a path in front of you that is leading somewhere, but you still don't know where that is leading, but you start to see it more clearly. So it is the past that is telling us about our future in our life journey, and we start to get a glimpse on our purpose, and perhaps at this point we also begin to set some goals. We begin to develop some ideas on what we want to achieve, and we go after those dreams. And then it might be that one day you make those dreams come true and fulfill those goals. And then again you are in the situation, well, but what is my purpose? What is there more to that? And the way I like to think about it is that the life is like there's so many hills and there's mountains and there's this path you're walking on, and there will come time when you need to make choices and decisions on where to go. But each time you decide to do something, you are climbing a hill, and when you get top of that hill, then you can see a bit further. You get more clarity on your purpose, and the next hill and the next hill, until eventually you see that there is the big mountain. There's my purpose. And you start to go towards that. And you might have to make years and years of commitment to climb that mountain. And you start to, perhaps at this point, you have a purpose that you are really defined. But then again, what if you manage to climb that mountain? Perhaps you can see even further. Maybe there's more to your purpose in life. So I believe we all have a purpose in life, but it's just up to us on how long we are able to walk on this path before we die. And the key here is to keep walking. If we stop, then we will never find our purpose. So if we just accepted the first dart we throw in the dark and it missed the target, and we are okay with that, well, we are not walking on that path, and we will never find our purpose. So then the three things I wanted to give you as a guidelines. The first one is the idea that the decisions you make today define your future opportunities. So if you spend time today reading about a book, you might not know, or you might have no idea how that might fuel you in years to come, or give you ideas or some other path. Or perhaps you had a really bad experience in some work that seems like it was complete waste, but still you have that experience, and you don't know down the line that might help you to make really good decision or have the perspective that other people without that experience don't have. So what you need to do is make those experiences, read those books, just follow your passion, don't waste time, turn off the TV and do things. That's step number 1. You don't need to know your purpose. When you are young, you cannot know your purpose. It's impossible. You need to have all these experiences and things that you are going through to then find and start to find and figure out what it is. And as soon as you get that glimpse of the direction, the overall direction, then you are on a good path and you just keep going. But the second thing is then that when you have had these experiences, then you need to have this point in time when you stop and think and look back on your life and the journey you have been on, and you think, are you doing what you're supposed to be doing today, and what do you think the next hill is that you need to climb? And to do this, like journaling is an excellent way to do it. That's what I would recommend. But the key is just to not develop this tunnel vision when you're just going and executing one thing and not stopping and thinking the whole picture. So you need to have minimum once a year dedicated time to really think about where you are in life and if you need to make some decisions. Then the third thing, which I think is the most important one, this is about listening to this quiet voice that is inside all of us that is telling you what to do. It's called the instinct. And a lot of people numb it down and don't listen to it or hear it anymore, but you have to find the voice and start to follow it. And what you will discover is that often this voice is telling you something very uncomfortable that you don't want to hear, that you want to put away, that you want to ignore. That's why you want to go to the movies, turn on the TV, get some alcohol, do whatever to distract yourself from the uncomfortable thought that you know is deep down there, that is telling you what you should be doing. And what it's telling you to do is taking you out of your comfort zone. So you need to listen to the voice and do what it's telling you to do and go out of your comfort zone. So just do it.